Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right, I'm getting this one out a little bit late, and the my phone is doing odd things. So, what I saw when I did the test to make sure my microphone was working is not what. Anyway, it's oh, I get it. So that's part of the energy and the vibe. All right, we're gonna get into that. Hi, I'm Holly, psychic medium energy reader, and I will use tarot and oracle cards as a way to listen to spirit. They are simply tools. So, and yes, I have a cup of coffee, and I have it in my fairy mug. Um, the message I'm getting very clearly, and it started with when I was doing the check for the microphone. Things are not what they seem. So that's the message. That is the dominant message. Hi, little baby girl. I know. I'm sorry. Um, I know I didn't pay attention to you right away. So the dominant energy that I always like to start out with is that things are not always what they seem. What is it that isn't always what it seems? Okay, it's almost like I'm getting a layering, and there's a whole jumble of information that's it's what I'm getting is that it doesn't matter what it is. Well, it matters what it is, but it's a multi-layered event. Something is multi-layered, so it's not one factor. There's not one thing that will determine an outcome. Yeah, now things seem normal. I swear to you, I saw my background reversed. And I even held a card up to make sure the writing was one in which you could read it if I did hold it up. And now everything looks like, look, this is just barely really odd. Okay, so why should I be surprised? Okay, all right, let's get into that because I feel like there's more to say about that. Spirit, help me out. What is the message about this? What is the dominant message for the day when you see this that is related to things are not what they seem? Be prepared for the unexpected. Be prepared for what might feel unusual, and in that way might be a little out of your comfort zone. Um, it's okay. You are fine. But it does feel a little trippy. It does feel almost like we're looking through a kaleidoscope. And when you turn it, the image changes. What is this? Why is this? The energy for this part of the month is shifting. Oh, it's because we're coming up on very close to a new moon and the solar eclipse. It has something to do with that energy. It has something to do with that. Okay, I just keep hearing be prepared for the unexpected and the unusual. Now, it may not necessarily be in a bad way because what it has felt like in the world over this last few days or last week and a half is that there is a building of tension and there is a building of events. And it's a little intimidating and scary to think about how this could blow up. But what I keep hearing is expect the unexpected. Everyone is going to be okay. Truths are going to be exposed. Now, this could be in your personal life. This could be in more. There we go. I had to adjust the microphone. It could be on a. I'm hearing the word unilateral. So it's not just in one area of the world or one area of a country. It's everywhere. There's going to be truths exposed. And it's going to come after this lunar cycle. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. It is very true. This month is a pivotal month in the course of world events. And you all know I'm about as, on the left as you can get. So it's not like I don't have I mean, I think everybody needs to do their own work and their own job, but I don't have a conservative bone in my body. I don't think. I always err on the side of caution for those who cannot help themselves. It's just the way I am. So, or not those who can't help themselves, but those who are held down and not allowed often to help themselves. So, they don't want me to say anymore. Yeah, I'm not a political reader, but I feel like this is going to, one, impact your personal life, and it will then impact the larger picture of things. But it feels like it's ultimately positive. It feels like there's ultimately a positive response. They're not even telling me what this is about. So I'm just going to leave it there. All right, let's find out what is going on with the collective for a general reading. Okay. I want to use this one, and this is the one I'm being drawn to because this is the one we're going to use. It's the I'll just show you the book cover. It's the Magical Hours Tarot, and it's a beautiful deck. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Now, Mother and Father God, creator of all things, spirit guides and guardians, please come into this reading. Someone's going back to their roots. Someone's going, quote unquote, home. And I don't mean the home on the other side. I mean the home of this lifetime and incarnation. So someone is turning the clock back to things they used to do and a way they used to know. What does that mean, please? It means that you know the way. You know what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not doing it right now, someone is trying to be something they're not. Oh, it's going to be one of those. I can already feel it. So someone is trying to be someone they're not. There's no reason. I'm hearing the words gifts and accolades. What does that mean, please? We got to pull this together. It's feeling disjointed again. We got to pull it all together. Help me out, Spirit. There's going to be a time when you come into your own. Right now, you are in the preparation phase. You are in the latter stages of preparation phase. However, when you do step into that spotlight, that limelight, that essence of the essence of what's going to make you feel closer to the Creator, that is when you understand fully your mission and purpose on this earth and in this lifetime. I've been up for a little bit, and I had some coffee after I took care of the cats and all of that, and I used a mug that had sea turtles on it. That was a gift, and it's beautiful. And I just kept hearing the march to the sea, the march to the sea. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that, for those historians out there, help me if I'm off on this, the phrase the march to the sea had to do with Sherman's march to the sea in the Civil War. And that was a terrible thing. Terrible thing. But in this instance, it feels like it's a different type of march to the sea. So if that resonates with you on any level, what I'm hearing is that your inner light will win out. Your inner light and beauty will win out. Okay. And then when I pulled the fairy mug, it's opening here. What do we have? Queen of Swords. Yeah, you're about to get a download about something. And you're very intuitive. You're also no one to trifle with. Well, cheers to you. When I pulled the fairy mug, it had a not much softer, because even with the sea turtles, it felt good. It felt like you were breaking free. So breaking free And finding your ethereal nature is going to be important in the coming, I'm hearing, weeks. Yeah, I'm not crazy about how all over the place this is. I feel like there's... Spirit, just take over. Help me out. There's going to be a worldwide event that's going to create an epiphanal moment. And it's going to create a tower. These fell out on my lap. There's a big cluster of them. Hold on. All right. We have the devil. What is that? 4 of Pentacles. The Death card. And the 5 of Wands. A lot of strife. And that was on the heels of that tarot, or that Tower card. Someone's true nature is about to be exposed in a way that can't be denied. And this is evidential, so there's going to be some evidence to back it up. And that's when the shift toward a greater sense of calm and humanity will happen, because there will be a little bit of infighting, but it'd be like a kid throwing a tantrum. It's like, psh, really? You just pick the kid up and leave the store and say, yeah, well, then you don't get anything. You got to teach people how to act sometimes. And if they're throwing a tantrum, all right, you keep throwing that tantrum, but don't expect to be rewarded for it. Yeah. So they're making by they, I mean my guides and guardians who are giving me this information. And I feel like there's also a little bit of extraterrestrial involved in this information. So yeah, the comparison they're giving me is that of a child. A temper tantrum from a child. Yeah. It's almost like the kid when you walk into the kitchen and they've got chocolate all over their mouth before dinner and they weren't supposed to eat that or even find that chocolate cake, and they're like, oh, I didn't even think. Not a good criminal. All right. So what is the message for the collective? Let's move on from that and get into a reading for the collective. What is the message for the collective today? What is the message for the collective today? What is the message for the collective today? When you see this, open it to the middle. 3 of Cups. All right, so I'm not sure which way to take that yet. So let's get some clarification. Okay. Ugh. Ooh, okay, we had 2 flip out. All right. And what else? The numbers are important here. We've got card 3. We've got 3 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and the Fool. Oh, with morning glories. And that looks like not a wolf, but a coyote. Or, I don't know, maybe it's just a dog. But it's a bigger dog than usual. It's not the little white dog. All right. Yeah. All right, here we go. We got them. We got all of our cards right now. 1 more off the top. All right, and 1 off the bottom. What are these? The Queen of Cups and the Hanged Man. Well, well, well. Queen of Cups and the Hanged Man. Okay. So you are going to come into an understanding, and I will put that the actual reading part starts at about almost 13 minutes in. All right. So here's what we've got. All right, 3 of Cups, 2 of... Oh, let me show you. Three of Cups, Two of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Fool. Oh, wait a minute. There are two cards here. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, the World. And the World was right under the Fool card. So the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Huh. Interesting. They were so... That's so weird because they were... Yeah, I had no idea. All right. So of the major arcana, we have the Fool card and the World card. Truly, new beginnings and the ending of something else. Or coming full circle. So yeah, an ending. Because then we have Judgment. A lot of... Yeah. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 major arcana here. All right, 6 of Pentacles. The Moon card. And the Wheel of Fortune. And then the last two that I felt compelled to take, the Queen of Cups, whoops, and the Hanged Man. Okay. So, oh boy, there's a lot going on here. The Three of Cups is a tricky card. Sometimes it can mean absolute joyous celebration. Coming together with your tribe, coming together with your people. Celebrate it. In this instance, I feel like it's, and particularly with the Moon card down here, I kind of feel like this is more so, I'm hearing stepping out. So someone in the past, this is not currently your situation, in the past, if you think someone has been dabbling or cheating on you or stepping out or just a flirtation even, someone who's been flirtatious with other people, you're not wrong. But now they are in regret and watching. And this is more than one person. I feel like this is more than one person. This is not a continuation from yesterday's reading because that energy is over and finished. And you are being protected from any prying eyes that would wish to cause you harm. Now this Three of Pentacles is moving into the next phase. You're getting ready to, I get that it's coming into your sense of self and self-worth and your sense of where you belong and who you are. Everything is about to come together, and that's the World card. Even though you are starting a new venture, even though you are starting to learn how to be the person you've always known you could be and wanted to be and were supposed to be, this little temporary setback has made you stronger and made you more focused. Okay, now this situation in the past could be romance, it could be naysaying negative family members, it could be work that was just draining you dry, but not providing you with anything in return, barely even enough to get by on financially. So that part is rolling to a close because you are about to realign your priorities. You are going back to the basics, back to who you are. You are closing out cycles of this, I'm hearing the word depravity. So there was a lot of base energy involved. People who wanted something for nothing maybe, and were always hungry to get their hands on something. That is not your mindset. That is not your mentality. With immense gratitude comes immense reward. Judgment is happening. Scales are being balanced. What was hidden comes to light. The wheel is turning. And the wheel is turning because you are stepping into a new reality and you are closing out an old cycle, and you are not wishing anyone any harm, but you are saying, heal, be well, but this is crushing me. And that can't happen. If you are not being true to your own spirit, if you are not being true to your own value, and if you are trying to fix everyone else, then you will wither. Let judgment handle that. Let spirit balance the scales. It's not your job. You don't have to trust everyone right away. That's also another message I'm getting. And that's with these last two cards that were just kind of left out to the side that haven't really addressed. Queen of Cups and the Hanged Man. You don't have to trust everyone right away. You're still a little bit raw. You're still a little bit uncertain. But you have the strength of every ancestor with you. They're showing me something that I used to tell people back even in my late 20s. If you envisioned your entire line of ancestors behind you in this lifetime, because while we are in this incarnation, and once we cross over, those are probably members of our soul group too. Even the ones that we feel like may not know what they're doing. That's not for us to judge. Everybody's at their own place and in their own development. And, I know I have a long way to go, and I'm sure everyone has a long way to go. That's why we're here in human form. But what I used to tell people as far as the ancestors, even if your immediate family happened to be a little bit of kind of wingnutty, just not the most stable people in the world, that's okay. Not everyone was always like that. Something made them that way. And I can promise you, even in my experience, people who were, I just had to remove myself from during this lifetime, in death, they have come through as some of my biggest supporters. And they never supported me in life because they had their own issues going on. But with your ancestors, if you could envision an entire line of them behind you, all lined up in a row behind you, think of the strength of that. Think of the strength of every person in your line. There might be someone 10 generations back that you are the spitting image of, or you carry the essence and spark that you share with them, because maybe that's the only one in your soul group, but all of them are here for you this lifetime. And all you have to do is energetically lean back, and when you need them, they will hold out their arms and hold you. Call on that energy. Call on that. All right. Since we're talking about that, let's look at the past life oracle. All right. Past life oracle. Man, it's like I am so out. I feel like I'm out of, it feels like I'm out of time and space. Meaning like I've run out of time, but that I am, if you all are feeling this way, let me know. Because I feel like specifically today, it just feels like there is no sense of time. There is no sense of linear time. And I just dried my hair, so it's kind of everywhere. Anyway, lessons and blessings, Egypt, forgiveness. And what's on top? No, what's on bottom? Okay. Native American or indigenous. Let's say indigenous. All right. Indigenous to America. This goes into the vibe from when I first started. All right, and I've also got a spirit coming through that's very old. All right, so it's when you can learn how to forgive. And I know I'm the worst at this. I lump myself in there with anyone out there who feels the same way. Sometimes it's hard to put yourself in other people's shoes. Do the best you can. I have gotten a lot more accepting the older I get, because you realize that things are not two stark different realities. There is a middle ground, and hopefully we can all meet on that middle ground. I mean, I still have a sense of right is right and wrong is wrong, but that might vary a shade or two. Anyway, if you treat people with respect, that's the most important thing, I think, for me personally. But it's not about me. So anyway. This is... I'm not even sure where to go with this. Spirit, what is going on? Why is all this coming up? Why is this happening right now? You are being called into a higher purpose and a higher action. You are being called into a place of service. Okay. And this is a general reading. It can't resonate with everyone. So take that. If that's been calling to you, great. If not, okay, this is a general reading. Please don't work to make it fit. I feel like we've got two diverging groups here. One is getting ready to move into a place of peace and understanding and feeling like you understand your place in the universe. It feels very cosmic, very enlightened, so to speak. Okay, not that this group will know more than the other group, but they will feel things and interpret things differently. And then we've got this other group. The other group is one of, whereas this first group may be withdrawing a little bit more, they're going to be more expansive, but they're going to be in the thought realm. They're going to be in manifestation of the highest and best for all. The other group, they're going to be like the boots on the ground, okay? They're going to be the ones who are called into action, the ones who are on the picket lines, who are holding up signs, who are doing whatever. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do both, but I feel like there's going to be... Oh, and I feel nauseous all of a sudden. Yeah, for someone out there, watch out for any stomach bugs. And now, because that's not, I'm fine. It's not me. But I feel like that's also a little side message for someone. Be careful of what you eat or consume. When in doubt, throw it out. Okay. So yeah, don't eat something if you think it might be bad for you, because I think it's going to have extra consequences for your gut health. All right. That's just a little aside real quickly. So the first group, let's get back to that. The first group, you're going to be more in the thought realm manifestation period of things for, I would say, the rest of this month, particularly this week. Now, the other group, be careful not to work yourself up into such a fervor that you miss or you lose sight of the goal. But this other group is going to be basically the activists. They're the ones who are with the bullhorns and trying to say, hey, everybody, listen up. This is going on. I think this group is aware of what's going on. Group 1, we've got Group 1 and Group 2, Group A, Group B, however you want to do that. But I think the other group is aware of what's going on, but they're choosing a more subtle way of approaching it. And then over here, Group C is not a group, but that is what I started out with in the vibe, that it's the energy of global massive change. I hear one of the babies protecting a toy. Yeah. Okay. All right. What a weird message. All right. Let's look at the Sweet Blossom Lenema, because I want to get one more message. I want to get one more message for the collective. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's get a message for group A and a message for group B. Okay. Message for group. All right, this one turned sideways in my hand. It wouldn't come out. The stork. So, yeah. We're getting ready to see there's going to be a birth of a new reality. Group A, I feel like, is going to isolate and kind of go within. They're not abdicating responsibility, or they're not ignoring things, but they're saying, we're going to find another way to approach this. All right, now. All right. Yeah. On the bottom, Crossroads. So, that's what it feels like. That would be a good way to sum it up. So it feels like, well, they said they don't want to give me a message for the way I was planning to do it. This is a totally different one, but for the group A, B, and then the C event, group C, which is all of us, everyone, global community. But there is going to be a crossroads. So we are coming to a point of a crossroads where decisions will have to be made, and you will make them either quietly, intuitively, or you will make them through vocal action. All right. And it opened up to bouquet. So there is going to be a positive outcome. There is going to be a positive outcome, I believe. All right. So this is a separate reading. So again, all over the place. We have man, rider, and the star. Okay. This is a young man specifically. This is a young person, a very young person is going to lead the charge. Maybe this is about this. All right, so there's going to be some young person who's going to step up and say, it's going to be a leader of some sort, a new young leader on the scene who, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Is it someone who is, everyone's going to see this very, very young new leader as someone to pin all their hopes on, but is that accurate? Is that accurate? All right, I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale Mini. All right, so is it true? What's on top? The Fool. Okay, new beginnings. So it is a very young person. All right, Page of Pentacles, the Three of Swords. It's going to come from heartbreak. It's going to come from, and this is the newness of it. So this is a very, very young person who is going to rise up in the ranks. And because of the heartache, we'll say we need to work. It's someone who's going to bring people together. So there's a lot of division right now. So this is someone who will bring people together. And it's going to be a young person. Okay. Huh. 5 of Cups. This is a worn out, older knight. I feel like this is... Tell me about this young person, please. Even though they're young, their eyes are wide open. They are seeing the effects of so much trauma and tragedy, and they want to be a uniting force. Strength card. This young person comes from a very strong ethical line and just has the best of intentions for all involved. Now, what I am getting though is that, okay, in the Hermit, and the Seven of Pentacles. All right, so one more. Oh, wow. And the Seven of Wands. So this person is going to have, this young person who's not of age yet to really step into the arena full force, but this person is going to be a peacemaker, a healer, someone who's going to try to unite everyone. However, we have to be really careful because that phrase, total power totally corrupts. This person has a lot of charisma and a whole lot of energy. Now, if it is warped and manipulated, it could be used for selfishness. So this new young person coming on the scene wants to unite. This young person, if this person has a strong core group around them, then they will succeed. Nine of Pentacles. So this person has to stay true to the people who were always with them. Because if they start listening to the, what is it, a sycophant? The people who just build their ego and say, oh, you're the best, you're the greatest, no matter what you do. Because they have personal ego in the way, and they see this person as a means to an end, it's going to be bad. So this young person needs to stay clear-headed, level-headed. And that older knight who is just tired and worn out and has seen so much fall apart. I feel like that is someone who is in the sphere of this young person. We've got two options here. And I know this is a very far in the future reading, and hopefully I won't have to revisit this again, but we have two options with these young people. One will step up with a very egalitarian, wanting the best for everyone, youthful energy is the outside packaging, but it's a very, and all souls are old and all souls are perfect, but this one has not incarnated in a very long time and hoped never to have to again. So they're coming in with the weight of a lot of understanding. And that person wants to be a peacemaker. There's someone else who may rise up through the ranks, and these two are going to battle head to head. Now, we're talking about 20 years in the future, and I've been getting the other side of this, the one who is not the egalitarian one, the one who is not seeking peacemaking and peace, but the one who wants to rise up and be a dictator. And I know where we are now, but this is not a reading about right now. This is about very young people who are witnesses to this. One is going to rise up and say, we can do better, and we all have to come together, and we all have to find a peaceful solution. And then we have this one who's going to rise up with greed and the need for money and the need for power for purely personal reasons. I think that's where I was getting that sycophant kind of thing. So this person I don't think can be corrupted, But this person is already on the verge of corruption, even though they're young. And I'm getting that both of these may be in their early teens, between 8 and 12 maybe. So there's when I think of the one who is fueled by anger, greed, lust, even at a young age, because they see and they know they feel entitled. It makes me sick. It makes me physically nauseous. When I think of this person who is who is already saddened and who is already way older than their years and just wants to be a peacemaker. This is a reluctant hero of sorts. If this were literature, this would be your reluctant hero. And this one came into life knowing there would be a constant battle. It would be a constant battle with this other person who will challenge them at every turn. This isn't for like another 20 years off, though. All right. In the meantime, it's like there are two camps in both spheres here. So we've got one camp, the A and B groups, the one who is going to go in, isolate, and use manifestation spirituality to try to change the energetic vibe and current that we live in. And then we have the boots on the ground people. And then you have back here this young teen and this young teen person over here. One is the one on this side, and it doesn't have to do with the activists necessarily, because that could be split into two groups as well. But this person is fueled by greed and entitlement, and this person is fueled by very, very wise old soul who just wants peace in the kingdom, peace in the valley. All right. Wow. Okay, you all, here we go. So this is your reading. This is an odd one. I am going to go ahead and get this uploaded right now. And yeah. So this is your, I don't know if I'm going to have one for Friday. I'm going to try to. But if not, everything is okay. It's just been, I swear, I feel like I've been productive this week, and then I look back and it's like, I feel like I've got a bunch of half finished things. Be well, take care. If nothing else, I'm sure this weekend I will come back on with something. So either there will be a video for tomorrow or there will be one over the weekend. But one way or the other, be well and take care. Yeah, feeling anxiety rising up because I feel like we're on the cusp of something big happening. And it's going to have to do with lies exposed and awareness. Be well and take care. All right, everyone. I am sending you love and gratitude. Thank you so much. I know this one was a little different. And yeah, this one was just a little different. I have no idea what the next few days are going to look like. So be well, and we'll talk soon. Oops, my little clicker thing's not working.